As we grow older, life naturally slows down, and in this gradual deceleration, we often find ourselves surrounded by something profoundly valuable: silence. For many elderly individuals, this silence is not just an absence of noise. It's a presence, a comforting companion that brings peace, reflection, and a deep sense of contentment. Having seen this journey unfold in my own life and in the lives of those around me, I can tell you that there is an incredible power in embracing silence. But what exactly is this power, and how can we or our loved ones embrace it fully? Well, stick around, and let's explore this journey together. Number 1. Silence as a space for deep reflection. In our younger years, life is often a whirlwind of activities, responsibilities, and constant motion. We're so busy doing, achieving, and striving that we rarely take the time to simply be. But as we age, we're given the gift of time, a chance to pause, breathe, and reflect on the lives we've lived. For me, these moments of reflection often come in the quiet hours of the morning, when the world is still asleep. I sit with a cup of tea, and as the steam rises, I find myself traveling back through the years. I think of the people I've loved, the dreams I've pursued, the challenges I've faced, and the lessons I've learned. It's in this silence that I can see the bigger picture, understand the meaning behind my experiences, and find a deep sense of gratitude for the journey. But reflection isn't just about looking back. It's also about making peace with the past. We all carry regrets, missed opportunities, and what-ifs. In silence, we have the space to confront these feelings, to process them, and ultimately, to let them go. It's a deeply healing process, one that brings a sense of closure and allows us to move forward with a lighter heart. 2. Silence as a source of inner peace. In the hustle and bustle of life, peace can feel elusive, a distant dream that we chase but rarely catch. But as we grow older, we begin to realize that peace isn't something we find outside of ourselves. It's something we cultivate within. And silence is the fertile ground where that inner peace can take root and grow. I remember a time when the noise of life, both external and internal, was overwhelming. The demands of work, family, and social obligations were constant, and I rarely had a moment to myself. But as my life became less about doing and more about being, I found that silence offered me a refuge. It became a place where I could escape the chaos, quiet my mind, and simply exist in the moment. In these moments of silence, I've discovered a tranquility that is incredibly soothing. It's a peace that comes from accepting life as it is, without the need to change, fix, or control anything. It's about being fully present, whether I'm sitting in a garden listening to the birds, or just closing my eyes and feeling the warmth of the sun on my face. This peace isn't dependent on circumstances. It's a state of being that I can carry with me, no matter what's happening around me. 3. The power of listening in silence. One of the most profound gifts that silence gives us is the ability to truly listen. In a world that's always talking, we often forget how to listen, really listen. But in the quiet moments, we can tune in to the subtler sounds of life, and more importantly, to the whispers of our own heart. I've found that in silence, I can hear things I might have missed otherwise: the gentle rustling of leaves, the distant hum of the wind, or the soft patter of rain on the window. These sounds might seem insignificant, but they have a way of grounding me, reminding me of the beauty and simplicity of life. But beyond the physical sounds, silence also allows me to listen to my inner voice. It's in these moments that I can check in with myself, ask how I'm really feeling, and hear the answers that I might have been ignoring. This kind of listening isn't always easy. It requires patience, openness, and a willingness to sit with whatever comes up. But it's incredibly rewarding. It's in this inner dialogue that I find clarity, guidance, and sometimes the courage to make necessary changes in my life. Listening in silence also transforms the way I interact with others. When I'm not rushing to respond or fill the gaps in conversation, I find that I can be more present and more empathetic. I can hear not just the words being spoken, but the emotions and intentions behind them. This has deepened my relationships, allowing me to connect with loved ones on a more meaningful level. 4. Silence as a path to creativity and wisdom. Creativity doesn't disappear with age. If anything, it can flourish in the spaciousness that silence provides. I've always believed that creativity is less about producing something new and more about connecting with the essence of who we are. And in silence, we have the freedom to explore this essence, to tap into our inner worlds, and to express ourselves in ways that are uniquely ours. For me, creativity comes alive in the quiet moments. Whether I'm writing in my journal, tending to my garden, or simply daydreaming, it's in these silent spaces that ideas begin to flow. I found that without the distractions of noise and busyness, I can connect more deeply with my thoughts and feelings, and this connection often leads to unexpected insights and inspirations. But beyond creativity, silence also brings wisdom. It's in the quiet contemplation of life that I've gained some of my most profound understandings. Wisdom, I've learned, isn't just about knowledge. It's about seeing the deeper truths of life, the patterns that connect our experiences, and the lessons that are hidden in every moment. And this wisdom isn't something that can be rushed or forced. It emerges slowly, naturally, in the stillness of silence. 5. Finding strength in solitude. Solitude, often misunderstood as loneliness, is one of the most powerful aspects of silence. It's in solitude that we find the strength to face life's challenges, come to terms with our mortality, and embrace the changes that come with aging. I've had my share of moments where I felt alone, where the silence was heavy with the absence of loved ones or the weight of loss. But over time, I've come to see solitude not as something to fear, but as something to welcome. It's in these solitary moments that I can recharge, reflect, and reconnect with myself. Solitude has become a time of self-care for me, a time to listen to my own needs and to nurture myself in ways that I might have neglected before. It's in these moments that I can truly be myself, without the expectations or demands of others, and in doing so, I've found a strength and resilience that I didn't know I had. 6. Silence as a way to connect with the spiritual. For many of us, silence is more than just a pause from the noise of life. It's a doorway to something greater. It's in the silence that we feel closest to the spiritual, to the mystery of life, and to the presence of something beyond ourselves. I've always found that my most profound spiritual experiences happen in silence. Whether I'm praying, meditating, or simply sitting in stillness, it's in these quiet moments that I feel the deepest connection to the divine. The silence amplifies my prayers, making them feel more sincere and more heartfelt. It's as if the quietness allows me to hear the voice of the universe, guiding me, comforting me, and reminding me that I'm not alone. This spiritual connection doesn't require elaborate rituals or grand gestures. It's found in the simple, everyday moments, in the beauty of a sunrise, the stillness of a forest, or the gentle touch of a loved one's hand. It's in these moments of silence that I feel most at peace, most connected, and most alive. If you're enjoying the content, kindly consider hitting the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our future videos. Thank you, and let's move on. 7. Embracing silence as a gift. Silence is a gift, one that not everyone is comfortable receiving. It takes time to become friends with silence, to sit with it without feeling restless or uneasy. But once we do, we find that silence is not something to be feared, but something to be cherished. For me, embracing silence has been a journey. It wasn't always easy, and there were times when the silence felt too loud, too empty. But as I've grown older, I've learned to see silence not as a void, but as a space filled with the potential for peace, reflection, creativity, and connection. So, if you're finding yourself in a place of silence, whether by choice or circumstance, I encourage you to embrace it. Let it be a time to rediscover yourself, to reconnect with the world around you, and to find joy in the simple act of being. Silence is where the true power of life lies. It's in these quiet moments that we find our greatest strength, our deepest wisdom, and our most profound peace. In the end, the power of silence is not about the absence of sound, but the presence of something much deeper, something that can only be found when we stop, listen, and simply be, embrace it, live it, and let it guide you on this beautiful journey of aging. You'll find that in the silence, there is a world of richness waiting to be discovered, a world that is uniquely yours. 8. Silence as a bridge to deeper relationships. As we age, the dynamics of our relationships evolve. Friendships that once thrived on shared activities and frequent interactions may begin to change, and we might find that our connections with others become quieter and more subdued. But within this quietness lies an opportunity for deeper, more meaningful relationships. Relationships that are built on understanding, presence, and the silent language of love. In my own life, I've noticed that the need for constant conversation has diminished. Instead, I find great comfort in simply being with those I care about, whether we're sharing a cup of tea, walking together, or just sitting side by side in silence. These moments don't require words to be meaningful. The silence itself becomes a shared experience, a testament to the trust and intimacy that exists between us. What I've come to appreciate is that silence can communicate just as powerfully as words. A gentle touch, a knowing glance, or a shared smile can convey love, support, and understanding in a way that transcends language. It's in these silent exchanges that I've found some of my most profound connections with others. Silence also provides the space for others to feel heard and valued. When we're not rushing to fill the gaps with our own thoughts and opinions, we open up a space for genuine listening. A kind of listening that makes the other person feel truly seen and understood. This can be especially important in our later years when we might need someone to simply sit with us, share in our silence, and be present without the need for words. 9. Silence as a form of resilience and adaptability. Life is filled with transitions, and aging is perhaps one of the most significant transitions we experience. With it comes a host of changes, some expected, others not. Health challenges, the loss of loved ones, and the shifting of our roles in the family or community can all be difficult to navigate. Yet, I've found that silence can be a powerful tool in cultivating resilience and adaptability during these times of change. In the silence, we find the strength to face these transitions head-on. Without the distraction of noise, we can confront our fears, process our emotions, and come to terms with the realities of our situation. It's in these quiet moments that we often discover an inner fortitude we didn't know we had, a resilience that enables us to adapt to new circumstances with grace and dignity. For example, when faced with a health challenge, silence can provide the mental and emotional space to come to terms with the diagnosis, reflect on what this change means for our lives, and find the courage to move forward. Similarly, in dealing with the loss of a loved one, silence allows us to grieve, honor our emotions, and gradually find our way to healing. But silence isn't just about enduring difficult times, it's also about finding joy in the new opportunities that change can bring. As we let go of old roles and routines, we create space for new experiences, new passions, and new ways of being. Silence gives us the clarity to recognize these opportunities and the resilience to embrace them fully. In this way, silence becomes not just a companion, but a guide that helps us navigate the complexities of aging with strength, adaptability, and an open heart. So, if you find yourself surrounded by silence, embrace it. Let it be your companion, your guide, and your source of strength. Allow it to teach you, heal you, and help you find the beauty in simply being. In the end, the power of silence is not just in what it offers us, but in how it transforms us. It transforms us into more thoughtful, peaceful, and resilient individuals, capable of facing life's challenges with grace and wisdom. Remember, the silence is not empty. It's full of potential. It's a space where we can connect with our deepest selves, our loved ones, and the mysteries of life itself. Embrace it, cherish it, and let it enrich this chapter of your life in ways that are uniquely yours. The power of silence is a gift, and it's waiting for you to unwrap. Feel free to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you found the video helpful. Thank you for watching,